Hey there, green thumbs. Ready to, well, not dig into, but really get into raised bed gardening.
Mm.
Yeah, we're going deep with John Moore's Raised Beds Guide today.
From ChangeUnderground.net. Right.
That's the one. Love their stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting how he, frames it all.
It's like this no dig, but also like way more than that.
Oh, yeah, way more.
Like almost like a philosophy.
Mimicking nature.
Yeah, that's it.
Creating these mini ecosystems. It's amazing.
So before we get too deep, like what even is a raised bed? John says it's just like a garden bed, but higher up.
Yeah, the simple definition.
But I'm guessing it's more nuanced than that, right?
You bet. I mean, they can be, a few inches high, or some people go crazy, like 2 feet tall, all kinds of material.
I've seen some wild ones online.
But the real key is how you layer it, not just how high it is.
Oh, interesting.
Like, think of a forest floor, right? Nature doesn't just mix everything up evenly.
Yeah, that's true. It's all these layers.
So why is that layering so important? Does it, do something special?
Big time. You're creating these different zones right within the bed. Each one has its own microenvironment, little world.
Oh, wow.
Different organisms thrive in different spots.
Yeah, like a little neighborhood.
Totally. And the best part is less digging, less disruption.
Music to my ears. But hold on, won't we get overrun with weeds if we're not digging all the time?
Not necessarily. Especially with a deep litter method, raised beds actually fight weeds pretty well.
Really? How's that work?
Well, all that organic matter, layered up, it chokes out weeds from below, and then you've got mulch on top to stop new ones.
So it's like a two-pronged attack?
Pretty much.
Okay, I am sold on less digging and less weeding. That's like my dream.
Right. Plus, you get better water usage because the raised structure drains well but holds moisture too.
Oh, smart.
And then it's like a haven for soil life, all those good microbes and bugs.
The more the merrier, I say.
And get this, it's a carbon sink too.
Wait, so less work, happy soil, and I'm helping the planet.
You got it. Win, win, win.
I'm officially on the raised bed bandwagon. So, this deep litter thing, what exactly is that all about?
Think of it as building your bed like a lasagna, layering all this yummy organic stuff.
Okay, I'm with you.
You've got your compost, of course, but also vermicompost, which is basically, yeah, worm castings.
That's wild.
It's amazing stuff, like nature's super fertilizer, packed with nutrients and good bacteria.
Cool.
Then you can use animal bedding, layer different stuff like leaves and straw, even just straw for potatoes.
So many choices. But doesn't all that yummy stuff attract, pests too?
That's a fair point, and something we'll definitely dig into later. But with a bit of know-how, you can create a balanced ecosystem that doesn't invite too many unwanted guests.
Okay, phew, that's good to know. So how do we actually make one of these magical raised beds?
John breaks it down into 10 simple steps. First, you got to soak some cardboard.
Cardboard, what for?
Weed barrier. Soak it for an hour or so. Then, pick a sunny spot for your bed, lawn, bare earth, whatever.
Versatile, huh?
Yeah, that's one of the best things. So once you've got your spot, say goodbye to the grass.
Time to get roofless.
And lay down that cardboard, overlapping the pieces to make a solid base.
Like a puzzle.
Right. Then the fun part, layering on that deep litter magic.
I'm ready.
6 to 8 inches high. Get creative with different combos.
Could I use compost, straw, leaves, some of those worm castings maybe?
Exactly. Go wild. And don't forget to water it all in really well.
Gotta keep those layers happy.
Now, this next step is optional, but I highly recommend it. Add some worms.
Oh, I like this idea.
Yeah. They love it in there. Dusk is the best time.
Like a worm party.
Haha, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you want to add a protective top layer, straw, wood chips, shredded paper, something to keep the moisture in.
Making it cozy.
Right. And of course, keep watering regularly. That deep litter needs to stay moist.
Got it.
And then time to plant.
Finally. But hold on, with so many deep litter options, how do we know which one is best?
Excellent question. That's what we'll dive into next.
Can't wait.
It's kind of cool how this deep litter thing, it's not brand new.
Oh, yeah?
People have been doing it for ages, different forms.
Yeah. It's almost like rediscovering old wisdom.
Exactly. And it's more relevant now than ever with climate change and all that.
Yeah, it makes you think.
Deep litter, it's a real way to do something like actually sequester carbon, build better soil.
And less chemicals.
Huge.
Yeah.
Less reliance on fertilizers and pesticides.
So we're helping ourselves and the planet. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Now, we've been talking raised beds, but can you do this deep litter on a bigger scale, like a whole garden?
Absolutely.
Right.
In fact, a lot of these deep litter ideas, they come from bigger farms, you know?
Oh, interesting.
Think about composting. That's basically deep litter, just huge.
Right. Yeah, true. Breaks everything down.
And have you heard of cover crops?
Yeah, kind of. What are those again?
It's like planting something between your main crops to protect the soil.
Oh.
They add organic matter, fight weeds. It's all about mimicking nature.
So whether it's a bed or a field, it's the same idea.
Same principles, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how nature does it and then adapting it to your space.
I love that. And you don't need fancy stuff for deep litter, right?
Nope. We've been talking cardboard, straw, leaves.
Even kitchen scraps.
It's all about using what you have, being resourceful.
Yeah, that's appealing. Less waste, you know?
Exactly. And there's something so satisfying watching those worms turn trash into like black gold.
It's like magic, honestly.
Nature is amazing, right? Always working to create balance, abundance.
Okay, before I get too philosophical here, you mentioned something about using goat bedding. Tell me more.
Oh yeah, that one's a classic. Really shows how powerful this whole recycling thing is.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the deal?
So John Moore talks about using bedding from dairy goats, and it's not just like straw.
Uh-oh. What else is in there?
Droppings,
Yeah.
urine, leftover food, the whole shebang.
Sounds potent.
It's incredibly nutrient rich, like supercharged compost.
Wow, I guess that makes sense. It's all broken down already.
It really challenges how we think about waste, you know?
Yeah, it's like one being's trash is another's treasure.
Exactly. And this deep litter thing, it's like it makes you see potential everywhere.
Okay, now my mind is going a mile a minute thinking what I could layer up.
That's the spirit. It opens up so many possibilities, gets you thinking creatively.
But with all these choices, how do we pick the right deep litter stuff? Like, worm castings sound great, but aren't they expensive?
True. Vermicompost can be pricey if you're buying a lot, but guess what?
What?
You can make your own.
Really? Like a worm farm situation?
Yep. It's easy, it's cheap, and it's a fun project, especially with kids.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm adding that to my list.
Good. So, about other options. Each one has its quirks. You got to know the pros and cons.
Okay, like what?
Some stuff, fresh grass clippings, for example, they decompose super fast, can mess with your soil.
Too much of a good thing, huh?
Exactly. What about wood chips? You ever use those?
I have a ton from a tree we had trimmed.
Perfect. But be careful. They use up nitrogen as they break down.
Oh, so I can't just layer them up solo.
Better to mix them with something high in nitrogen, like manure or good compost.
Gotcha. It's all about balance, huh? Like nature.
Exactly. Observe, experiment, adjust as you go. That's the fun of it.
I'm getting excited to try all this out. But before we go full deep litter crazy, let's recap for our listeners. What are the main takeaways here?
Sure. So we've learned that deep litter, it's a powerful but easy way to build raised beds that work with nature.
Yeah, no more fighting the soil.
It's about those layers, understanding what each one does and finding the right mix for you.
And we've seen that there are so many options, from compost to worm poop to goat bedding. It's amazing what you can use.
You got it. We talked about managing pests, knowing what your plants need, but most of all, it's about the joy of gardening this way.
It really is. Feels like we're connecting with something bigger.
Totally. Okay, so one last question before we wrap up.
Hit me with it.
We've been saying mimic nature a lot, but what does that actually mean? Like, practically speaking, how do we do that?
Ooh, good question. I guess it's about, like, really paying attention to what's going on out there.
Yes. Go for a walk in the woods, slow down, observe.
Yeah, like really look at the forest floor, see how it's layered, all the different plants and bugs and stuff.
Exactly. And then think, okay, how can I bring a little bit of that into my own space?
Even if it's just a few pots on a balcony, right?
Even a window box.
Yeah.
It's the principles that matter.
You know, this whole deep dive, it's been really eye-opening. It's not just gardening, it's like more than that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It feels kind of empowering, you know?
Absolutely. It's like taking back control, becoming a participant, not just a consumer.
Yeah. And it's not even just about the food, is it?
Not at all. It's the connection, the feeling of, I don't know, accomplishment, nurturing something.
It's good for the soul, I think.
Totally agree. Very therapeutic, gets you in touch with like natural rhythms.
Yeah, and it's like the opposite of all the stress and stuff we deal with every day.
For sure. And I love how this deep litter thing, it's all about using what we usually throw away.
Oh, yeah. That's so cool. Cardboard, straw, even our kitchen scraps become valuable.
It's a total mindset shift. Instead of waste, it's potential.
And that can change how we see everything, right?
Absolutely. It can ripple out into all parts of our lives.
Okay, now I'm thinking big picture here. What if everyone did this deep litter stuff?
Whoa, now that would be something.
Imagine every backyard, every farm, all mimicking nature.
We could store so much carbon in the soil, it'd be amazing.
Less chemicals, healthier food, people connecting with nature more.
Yeah, it's a vision of a different kind of future, more in tune with how things actually work.
A future where we're all a little bit more deep litter.
Uh-huh. I like that. It all starts with those small steps. Composting, getting our hands dirty, embracing the messiness of it all.
It's a good reminder that we can make a difference, even if it feels small.
Exactly. So what do you say? Ready to build that worm bin?
Oh, I'm already looking up designs. This deep dive has been so inspiring. Thanks for sharing all this wisdom.
My pleasure. Has been fun.
And to all you listeners out there, we hope this has sparked some ideas for your own gardens, big or small.
Remember, every little bit helps.
So get out there, experiment, and most importantly, have fun.
Happy gardening, everyone.
This has been a JM Podcasting Services production. Link in the show notes.